My parents said they couldn't help me with MIT. 2 weeks later, they gave my sister $12,000 to be a DJ. Years later, they asked me to pay their mortgage. I said no. Then I bought her website and turned it into a warning label. Hey Reddit, I don't usually post on here. I just scroll, read drama, and mind my business. But things at home went so sideways I honestly didn't know where else to drop this. I, 28-year-old female, wasn't the first kid my parents had, just the first one they practiced on. You'd think after raising me, they'd learn how to be better at it. Nah, they just got better at picking favorites. Jace, 32, female, my younger sister, was the golden child since birth. She could probably light the house on fire, and they'd find a way to praise her for being curious about thermodynamics. Me, I breathed wrong, and suddenly I was disrespectful and difficult. Let me paint it for you. On my 16th birthday, my parents gave me a cold Little Caesars pizza and handed me a wrapped-up controller. I was confused because we didn't even have a console at the time. Then I opened it and realized it was Jace's old Xbox controller, the one with sticky buttons from when she spilled Mountain Dew on it. Left analog stick was drifting like crazy. I remember testing it out, and the cursor would just wander off screen like it had better places to be. They said it still works. When Jace turned 16, they gave her the works. Whole PC gaming setup, RGB lights, high-end graphics card, mechanical keyboard that clicked like a typewriter, a $500 chair that reclined farther than the back seat of a limo. They even decorated the basement for it. When I walked downstairs and saw it, I legit thought they were filming an ad for Best Buy. I made a joke like, "Guess I was born too early." Dad didn't laugh, just walked away. Now, fast forward to the next year. Jace crashes Dad's Camry into the neighbor's mailbox. She wasn't even supposed to be driving that day. Doesn't matter. No license, no apology, no problem. They buy her a newer Honda Civic a week later and tell her, "Accidents happen, sweetheart, you're learning." I wish I was kidding. I scratched the side of Mom's car trying to back out of the driveway a few months later. Tiny scuff, barely noticeable. You'd think I burned the garage down. Dad made me work at McDonald's for 3 months to pay off the paint job. Didn't matter that I had school. I was flipping burgers 6 days a week because actions have consequences. They kept saying that over and over. Actions have consequences, unless you're Jace. Then the rules don't apply. Her mistakes were growth moments. Mine were character flaws. Living with Jace was like living with a raccoon that had Wi-Fi and anger issues. She'd barge into my room whenever she felt like it. No knocking, no warning, just full-on storm the place like it was hers. I could be in the middle of an online test or literally changing clothes. Didn't matter. "Chill. It's not like anyone wants to see you naked," she once said while laughing and tossing a towel at my face. She'd steal stuff from my desk, blast music through the walls while I was studying, and use my toothbrush to clean her sneakers just to mess with me. When I locked my door, she kicked it until the frame cracked and said I was acting like a little princess. The worst part? My parents always took her side every single time. "Don't be so uptight," Mom would say. "She's just being playful." Nah, Jace wasn't playful. Jace was a jerk with a free pass, but I still played the good daughter. I figured if I kept my head down and did things right, I'd eventually get the same love or credit or whatever. Senior year came around. Jace was busy skipping classes and throwing ragers. I was busting my ass to keep my grades up, pulled all-nighters, did summer programs, even entered coding competitions just to stand out. And somehow I got into MIT. Not just that, partial scholarship. I still remember the email. I was shaking. It was one of those maybe I'm not invisible moments. I thought this was it. Maybe now they'd see me. I sat them down in the kitchen. I had everything printed out. Acceptance letter, scholarship award, my budget showing I only needed $8,000 more to make it work. I even had notes on payment plans. For the first 30 seconds, they looked proud. Like genuinely proud. Then Dad cleared his throat and gave me the classic, "Money's really tight right now, kiddo. Maybe you should consider community college first. You can always transfer later." I nodded, said I understood. 2 weeks later, Jace announced she wanted to be a DJ. Not just for fun, like full electronic music producer with gigs and an Instagram page and all that. She didn't even know how to use GarageBand. Didn't matter. They dropped $12,000 on her. Professional equipment, studio monitors, mixing decks, took over half the basement. I'm not exaggerating when I say I had to move some of my old boxes out to the shed to make room for her studio. Every weekend, Jace blasted the same 3 songs at full volume, throwing these wannabe parties, while I sat upstairs filling out scholarship essays and FAFSA forms. Sometimes she'd yell up the stairs, "Hey sis, can you not walk heavy? It messes with my recordings." I went to MIT anyway, took every loan they'd approve, worked in the dining hall, mopped floors, tutored rich kids who didn't even need it, ate the same noodles and eggs combo every night. I barely slept, just grinded every single day. 4 years later, I graduated with a computer science degree and landed a 6-figure job at Google, moved to San Francisco, finally had my own place, my own car, some savings. Meanwhile, Jace? The DJ thing lasted 4 months. She got bored, then moved on to her next passion, crypto trading, using mom and dad's retirement fund. You already know how that turned out. At 32, she was still in our childhood bedroom, thousands of dollars in unused gear. She didn't work, didn't contribute, still lived like the basement was her kingdom. Then came the call. I was at work when Mom rang. I picked up half expecting it to be about a tech issue. Instead, her voice was shaky. She said, "Dad got laid off after 20 years. They were 3 months behind on the mortgage. Retirement wasn't happening." And Jace? She's trying to get her essential oil business going, but it's been slow. She got quiet for a second, then asked if I could help with the mortgage, just for a while until we get back on our feet. I let the silence sit. Thought about the controller, the car, the $12,000 DJ setup, the ramen dinners, the loans. I said, "Money's tight for me too, Mom. San Francisco's expensive. Maybe you and Dad can work a little longer. Builds character." Then I hung up. I booked a 2-week trip to Japan that night. First class, mountain hotel, full food tour, and I didn't lose a second of sleep. After I hung up on Mom, I sat there staring at my phone. I wasn't mad, just done. That kind of done where you stop expecting anything different. They always picked Jace. No matter how many times she failed, they still gambled on her. When I asked for $8,000 to chase my dream, I got told to be realistic. She asked for 12 to chase beats and clout, and they rolled out the red carpet. And now here they were, broke, house nearly underwater, retirement off the table, Jace mooching rent-free, trying to sell essential oils like it was a Shark Tank pitch. And I was supposed to be the bailout plan? Nah. I took that trip to Japan. 2 weeks, first class, didn't hold back. Slept in a mountain inn with hot springs. Booked a food tour where a chef grilled Wagyu in front of me like it was performance art. Watched the sumo finals ringside. No shame. While they were back home rationing their leftover takeout, I was sipping green tea and watching the sun rise from a bamboo forest. I didn't feel bad. Not for a second. The guilt trip started a week after I got back. First was a group text from Mom. She wrote, "I know things have been tense lately, but we miss you. You're always family." I ignored it. 2 days later, my aunt messaged me on Facebook. "You know they need help. Why are you being cruel?" Cruel. Jace lived rent-free for over a decade and never paid for a light bill. I covered plumbing repairs, car insurance, and once even sent them $1,000 to fix the washer. But I was cruel now. Then it spread. My uncle from Texas texted me. "I heard you're doing really well. Your parents could use a little support." Guy hadn't spoken to me since high school. Suddenly, I'm on his radar because Mom cried to the family group chat. My cousin from Florida chimed in, "Whatever beef you have with your sister, don't take it out on your parents." They made me the villain, told everyone I abandoned them, left out the MIT rejection, left out the DJ setup, left out the crypto mess. Just painted me like some selfish rich girl who turned her back on the people who sacrificed everything for her. Funny how they only remembered me when the mortgage came due. The only person who didn't jump on the hate train was my cousin Nate. He called me one night and said, "I saw the family chat. You ain't wrong, Ellen. They treat you like a debit card." That meant more than any apology ever would. After that, I blocked the rest of them. Mom, Dad, Jace, even the aunts who wouldn't shut up. I was tired of being the responsible one only when it benefited them. I'd been the fallback plan for too long. Jace, meanwhile, was still grinding her business, her version of grinding, posting unboxing videos of essential oil kits on TikTok and complaining about the algorithm. She started selling bottles labeled with handwritten tags. Didn't even spell eucalyptus right. I saw one post where she called it eucalyptus energy and tried to claim it boosted masculine and aura or some crap. She DM'd me after I blocked her on everything. Said, "You're really going to turn your back on your family like that after everything we've done for you?" Then followed up with, "Anyway, if you can spot me $300 for a restock order, I'll cut you in on the profits." Didn't even respond. Just reported it as spam and kept scrolling. 2 weeks later, I got a letter in the mail, actual physical envelope, from my parents, handwritten. Said they were taking out a second mortgage. Asked me again to help. Said they were struggling. That Jace was trying so hard and just needed one more chance. Inside the envelope was a printout of my Google job announcement, the LinkedIn post where I celebrated my promotion. They circled my title, underlined my salary, wrote, "We're proud of you. Don't forget where you came from." That's when I snapped. I drove back home, first time in almost a year, showed up unannounced, walked through the door and nothing had changed. Same old couch, same dusty curtains, Jace on the floor in the living room with her laptop and diffuser bottles all over the coffee table. She looked up, smirked. Look who finally remembered we exist. Didn't even stand up. Mom came in from the kitchen. Her face lit up like I was a soldier back from war. "We knew you'd come around." Dad walked out, arms crossed, didn't say anything. I said, "You got 15 minutes. Everyone sit down." They sat. I pulled out my phone and showed them a spreadsheet. Every dollar I'd given them since I left for college. Every bill I covered. Every time I bailed them out. Over $22,000 total. Mom started crying halfway through. Jace rolled her eyes. Dad kept staring like he was above it all. I said, "I don't owe you anything." Jace laughed. "You think this little show makes you better than us?" I turned to her. "You're 32. No job, no degree, no savings. You live in your childhood bedroom and sell fake lavender juice online. You think I'm trying to be better than you? I already am." Silence. Dad stood up, said, "This is our house. You don't come in here and disrespect us." I nodded. "Right. Your house, which is 3 months from foreclosure, and I'm done saving it." I walked out. Nate was waiting outside in his truck. He gave me a nod. Didn't ask questions. I haven't spoken to them since. They keep sending letters, emails, texts from different numbers. All go straight to trash. About a month after I told them off in person, things went quiet. No texts, no letters, no more group chat lectures. For a second, I thought maybe they finally got it. Maybe they realized I wasn't the family piggy bank anymore. Nope, they were just regrouping. Out of nowhere, my old high school buddy Ryan hit me up. Said Jace tried to sell him some premium wellness kits through Instagram. Claimed she was building a dropshipping empire. Told Ryan he could get in on the ground floor for $500. Said she had investors lined up, including me. I laughed. Ryan didn't. He actually thought I was backing it. I asked for a screenshot. Sure enough, Jace had been name-dropping me like I was some silent partner. My full name, job title, company. Got the blessing from my sister who works at Google. She's helping me scale. Even dropped a fake quote. Like I said, this is the future of online health retail. Health retail. The girl once put peppermint oil in her vape to clear her sinuses. I was pissed. Not because of the lie. She lied all the time. I was pissed because she was using my name to scam people, trying to leverage what I built to sell snake oil and hope. I didn't confront her, not directly. I bought her domain, let me explain. She'd been posting everywhere about her business site launching soon. Had a countdown and everything. Called it ourmessence.com. Sounded like a perfume ad, but whatever. I looked it up, still unregistered. She had the logo, the name, the whole campaign, but hadn't locked down the site. So I bought it. 10-year plan. Paid extra for the .net and .org too, just to make sure. Then I built a landing page. Took about 90 minutes. Big white background. Simple header. RM. Essence is not a real company. Do not give money to Jace Dreskovich. She does not have investors. She is not affiliated with Google. She has no license, no certifications, and no plan. Below that, I added the screenshots, the fake quote, her Instagram bio, a giant red warning banner. I made sure it showed up on Google search the next morning. I didn't tell anyone. By the afternoon, Jace had nuked her Instagram page. The site link had gone dead. I watched it all happen from my phone with takeout in one hand and a grin I couldn't wipe off my face. Mom called the next day. I let it ring. Straight to voicemail. A minute later, another call, this time from a different number. Same routine. Then the emails came in. Subject line, "We need to talk." The message, 3 paragraphs, all caps, accusing me of sabotaging Jace's future, said I humiliated her, said I crossed the line. Apparently, some guy she was trying to impress saw the site and dumped her. Apparently, someone at church asked if she was getting sued. Apparently, she cried. Good. They framed it like I'd ruined her only shot at being somebody, like I was the villain for taking it too far. They forgot the part where she lied to people, used my name, tricked friends, risked my rep at my job. They forgot the part where I kept my mouth shut while she partied through high school, got bailed out after crashing a car, flushed thousands of dollars down the toilet chasing every new business idea she heard about on YouTube. They forgot all of that. But Nate didn't. He texted me one line that day. I saw the site. Savage. No judgment, no questions, just respect. I left the site up, didn't touch it, didn't respond to anyone. Jace went quiet again, deleted all her socials, started using a different name for her new business, tried to launch another site. But I'd already set up alerts for every variation, bought a few more domains just to be safe. It wasn't even about the money anymore, it was about the message. You don't get to walk all over people forever and expect them to keep carrying you. You don't get to lie and fake it and beg for cash, then play victim when someone finally calls you out. You don't get to burn the same bridge 12 times and cry when it collapses. Jace didn't learn anything. She never does. But the rest of the family, they got the point. Calls stopped. Messages slowed. Even the relatives who used to forward me her fundraiser links went quiet. They saw the receipts. They saw the site. They saw me stop playing nice. And that's when the real revenge started feeling less like a plan and more like justice. After the domain stunt, I figured they'd all vanish, fade out, lick their wounds, maybe even learn something. But if there's one thing I should have expected by now, it's that my parents never give up when they need something, especially when they're broke and the golden child's latest genius plan goes up in smoke. Week 1 was quiet, no calls, no letters, just silence. Week 2, it started again. Phone buzzed on a Tuesday. Unknown number. Declined it. Buzzed again 5 minutes later. Different number. Then an email hit my inbox. Subject line, from Mom. She opened with, "Your father and I are struggling. We're not asking for handouts, just a little grace." Underneath that was a screenshot of their bank balance, $143.89. No context, no explanation, just a guilt grenade lobbed right into my inbox. I deleted it. 3 hours later, my boss forwarded me an email, an outside message sent to the company's public info address. It was from my dad. He was trying to reach me through professional channels because I wasn't responding to personal messages. He explained their situation, asked if my company offered any family assistance programs, said I was their only child working in tech and he wasn't sure who else to turn to. I don't even know how he found the public company email, probably some boomer sleuth thing. My boss didn't say anything, just sent me the forward with the note. Want me to respond or you got it? I wrote back, blocked for a reason. I'll handle it. Then I blocked the company inbox from outside contacts just in case. They'd officially hit rock bottom. Public begging, corporate embarrassment, dragging my name anywhere they could. I called Nate. He answered on the first ring. I told him about the email. He let out a long whistle and said, "You ever think about changing your last name?" Kidding, mostly. That Friday, I got a letter in the mail. Not typed, not printed, handwritten. It was from Jace. I almost didn't open it, but the handwriting was so sloppy, I thought maybe it was from some random neighbor or classmate from years ago. Nope, Jace. 4 pages front and back. It was her manifesto. Said she'd finally figured it out. She wasn't going to sell oils anymore. She was done chasing fake businesses. Now she was building something real. She wanted to open a lounge. A real wellness and productivity lounge for creators and entrepreneurs. Her words, not mine. She described a space with beanbags, cold brew taps, and LED lights. Said it would have a vibe like Google but without the corporate soul. Wanted to name it The Grid. She claimed she had a lease on a cheap warehouse space. Said she was negotiating a partnership with a local influencer who used to go viral in 2018. Asked if I'd come on board as a co-founder. Said she needed $25,000 to cover startup costs. $25,000 for beanbags and cold brew and LED lights. She even included a hand-drawn floor plan. It looked like a 6-year-old made it on the back of a cereal box. There was a corner labeled Obj Manifestation Station. No joke. Underneath the map, in big letters, "This is the one, sis. This is the legacy move." I didn't respond. Not to her, not to my parents. I didn't even bring it up to Nate because I knew he'd pull over and laugh until he couldn't breathe. Instead, I scanned the letter and uploaded it to the same domain I used to destroy her last project. Made a new tab. The Grid. Legacy, Move, Number 6. Just listed her last 5 businesses with dates, fake projections, and screenshots of her asking people for money. Under that, I posted the lounge letter. People found it. I don't know how, but they did. A week later, Jace deleted her new Twitter account. Mom texted from a new number. 1 sentence. Why are you doing this? I didn't answer. Because if she had to ask, she never understood in the first place. This wasn't revenge anymore. This was self-defense. This was cutting the rope before they could pull me down with them again. I checked the property records on their house. 3 months later, it was sold. Not foreclosed. Sold. Turns out they refinanced and bailed at the last second. Packed up. Moved in with my aunt in Arizona. Jace went with them. Still jobless. Still talking about next moves. Nate texted me last week. Apparently, Jace started posting again. New idea. Clothing brand. The name? A Golden Blood. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped my phone. A few months passed without a word. No calls. No texts. No new begging attempts. I thought maybe they'd finally accepted it. Accepted that I wasn't going to be their savings account anymore. Then came the card. Not an envelope, a thick, glossy, glittery thing that looked like it came from a wedding planner. Front of it said, "Family means forever." Inside was a printed invite. You are warmly invited to a family reunion BBQ. Let's rebuild, reconnect, and remember what matters. No pressure, just presence. Love, Mom. Handwritten underneath. Jace will be there. She wants to make things right. I held the card like it was covered in oil. They rented a park, set a date, bought decorations, planned catering, and they wanted me to show up like nothing had happened. I called Nate. He said, "Sounds like a trap with potato salad." I laughed, but I knew he was right. This wasn't an olive branch. It was bait. They thought a picnic table and a few grilled burgers would erase years of favoritism, lies, guilt trips, and manipulation. I wasn't going, but I wasn't ignoring it either. I called the park office listed at the bottom of the invite, told them I was inquiring about the reservation under my parents' name. The clerk confirmed it. A covered area with tables, grill access, and a prepaid catering delivery. I asked a question. Is that spot near the public board? She said, yeah, about 20 feet away. That gave me an idea. Day before the reunion, I drove down there, printed flyers, laminated them. Big bold title, know who you're picnicking with. Underneath, bullet points. Fans Jay Streskovich has started 6 fake businesses since 2014. She scammed friends and family using lies about endorsements and job titles. Her parents funded each one and blamed everyone else when they failed. They asked their daughter, who worked her way through MIT, to pay their mortgage while letting Jace live rent-free. Then they tried to guilt her publicly after years of private neglect. At the bottom, I added a link, ourmessence.com/reunion. It redirected to a clean version of the timeline. Names redacted. No insults, just receipts. I taped 2 flyers to the board, 1 to the grill post, left 3 more on tables, then I left. Didn't attend the reunion. Didn't call. Didn't answer the 5 voicemails that came through that night. Nate did, though. He swung by. Said there were maybe 15 people. Family, mostly. A few old neighbors. Jace wore sunglasses the whole time like she was famous. Brought a folding table covered in shirts with Yish Golden Blood, printed in gold cursive. Nate said she tried to pitch them to people between hot dogs. No one bought any. My parents acted like everything was fine. Forced smiles. Told everyone I was on a business trip. Someone pointed out the flyers. Silence, then panic. Mom tore one down. Dad went red. Jace accused Nate of putting them up. Nate laughed in her face and said, "Not my font." He left early. Said the whole thing felt like a failed intervention where nobody brought the addict. A few days later, I got another letter. This one didn't have glitter or calligraphy. Plain envelope, no return address. Inside was a photo. The family reunion. Everyone standing awkwardly near the grill. Mom smiling too hard. Dad not smiling at all. Jace in the back, arms crossed, shades on, next to a sign that read, "Family is everything. Family is." On the back of the photo, 1 sentence. You should have been there. I ripped it in half. Then I blocked the last number they hadn't used yet. I was done pretending family means forced obligation. I was done letting guilt override history. I was done giving oxygen to people who only reached out when they needed something. They threw that reunion hoping I'd fold, that I'd show up, let things slide, keep the peace. I didn't, and they hated that more than anything. It didn't end with the reunion. I knew that was just them soft launching another guilt campaign. But what I didn't expect was for Jace to light the match herself. Not quietly, not behind the scenes. And public. She always wanted attention. Now she finally got it. It started with a video. Someone tagged me in it on Twitter. A clip from a small business expo in Phoenix. Some kind of weekend convention for local brands. I clicked it. There was Jace standing in front of a booth covered in black and gold. A crooked sign behind her. Golden blood clothing, with legacy. She was giving a pitch to a girl with a phone camera. Loud, overconfident, wearing her own shirt like a walking billboard. We're not just selling shirts. We're selling identity, power, dominance. Not everyone gets it, but my sister works for Google and she told me herself this kind of branding, it's the future. That's when I realized the clip wasn't from someone on her team. The caption read, "This guy told me his shirt unlocks alpha energy, said his sister at Google backed his company, LMFAO. The replies were brutal. Quote tweets, memes. Some guy made a parody ad with Jace's face and the line, "Powered by nepotism, sown by delusion." Over 400,000 views in a day. I didn't say anything, didn't reply, didn't share it. Didn't need to. That video hit our hometown like a nuke. Old classmates sent it to group chats. Ex-boyfriends commented under it. The school guidance counselor apparently used it in a what not to do talk during career week. Nate texted me one line. Sis went viral for being unemployed in HD. Jace went dark, deleted every social profile again, shut down the Golden Blood page, even pulled the Shopify site. She stopped posting entirely. Then Mom emailed me, not to apologize, not to explain, to demand I fix it. Said I should make a statement that I didn't give her permission to use my name. Said I should write a message defending the family. That people were laughing at all of us. I let it sit for a week. Then I replied. I didn't tell her to lie. I didn't tell her to fake endorsements. I didn't tell her to burn every dollar you gave her. And I'm not fixing a fire I didn't start. That was it. No more messages after that. The fallout was clean. No one reached out again. Not even the extended family. They were embarrassed, I could tell. Nobody wants to be associated with that kind of mess when it's trending. And Jace? Last I heard, she was working night shift at a vape shop in Tucson. Still pitching side hustles. Still calling herself a visionary. I've moved on. New job. Bigger title. Switched coasts. Quiet apartment. Clean inbox. Peace. I still get the occasional tag when someone re-uploads the expo video. It's like a recurring joke online now. Golden Blood Energy became a meme. Someone even made merch mocking the merch. Sometimes I look at it and shake my head. Not with anger, not with regret, just with the kind of relief you only feel when you finally walk away from a burning building and realize you never have to go back. Nate came to visit last month, brought ribs, cracked a smile, and said, "So, what's next? You buying Google?" I laughed. First time I really laughed in a long time. He leaned back on my couch, pointed at the ceiling, and said, "Whatever you do next, just don't sell eucalyptus oil, please." We watched the sunset, didn't say much after that. Didn't need to. Some endings don't need music, or closure, or deep talks. Sometimes it's just peace and silence, that's enough. I never blocked their numbers again. Didn't have to. They just stopped trying. No more emails, no more envelopes, no more. We just want to talk texts. They knew. The last card they played was public embarrassment. Jace dragged the whole family name through the mud for some clout, and I let it burn. That silence afterward? That wasn't peace. That was surrender. I bought a house last month. Nothing flashy. 2-bedroom place in a quiet neighborhood. Clean yard. Office space. A dog eventually, maybe. Nate helped me move in. Didn't even ask for pizza or beer. Just showed up with work gloves and said, "Let's finish this fast so you can enjoy it." He was the only one who never treated me like a backup plan. They still live in Arizona, last I checked. Small apartment. Mom got a part-time job doing admin work. Dad works security overnight. Jace moved out. Kind of. Crashes with some guy who runs a podcast and lets her sleep on a beanbag. She still posts sometimes. Different name, new fake brand, same pitch. This time it's real. Sure it is. I used to keep tabs. Now I don't even care. That part of my life's done. The golden child. She can keep whatever's left of that crown. Bent, dusty, fake as hell. Got promoted a few months back. Senior systems lead now. Came with a solid raise, my own team, and actual breathing room. I don't have to clock in early just to prove I belong anymore. No one hovering over me. No second guessing every decision. The new office is nicer too. Clean desk, good coffee, door that closes. I didn't throw a party or post about it. Just sat there after signing the offer and thought, this is what it feels like to not owe anyone anything. Around that time, I started seeing someone. His name's Kevin. He works on the UX team. Met him during a tight deadline sprint when half the company was in panic mode, and he was the only one not losing his mind. He's sharp, dry sense of humor, doesn't chase clout, makes his own money, handles his own problems. First person I've been around in a while who doesn't drain the air out of a room. We kept things quiet at first, same company and all, but he's not into drama. He's the kind of man who shows up early, leaves late, and doesn't brag about it. No guilt trips, no weird expectations. He's not trying to fix me or test me or bleed me dry. We split checks, swap playlists, talk about real stuff. And he's never once brought up Jace, doesn't care about my past, just asks what I want next. It's weird, in a good way. After a lifetime of being surrounded by people who took everything and still asked for more, being with someone who brings peace instead of pressure feels like I finally upgraded more than just my job title. I don't know what comes next, but for the first time in a long time, I'm not scared to find out.